On today's episode, a website of a really amazing Indian designer. We're going to review it, see what you can learn from it, and how we can even improve it. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another portfolio review. I love reviewing portfolio of amazing Indian designers because I feel like I have a lot of big, I would say, Indian audience, and I always hear excuses from them in terms of how hard it is to succeed as an Indian designer. So when I see something so amazing as what we're going to see right now, I enjoy sharing it because I hope it will inspire a lot of other designers to know that you can be amazing, you can reach great success if you do things right and put in the work. So let's cover this. Now, I want to get started before I even go down into review this. I love this website. This website is really incredible and is really well done. Of course, I'm going to say some things that I think would have improved it, but that is because I want this to be an educational experience and just think about how we can make this better. But overall, I just think this is amazing work. So let's see it. So this website is called Million Frames. That's actually the domain, and it's the website of Ashish Kumar. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So just off the top, this is how we land on this. And I can tell you that just by looking at this animation, I already like this. I mean, I already know that this guy is a good designer because we have good layout here. We have good hierarchies here. We have very clear, title, I design interface that user love to use. Great, very clear and compelling value proposition and you immediately see what he can do. You can see both the design and you can also see the animation and interaction. So you can really see immediately, less than 10 seconds into this website, that this is a high-end designer. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. So it says here, Ashish Kumar is a product designer from India, over 7 years of industry experience. There's a get in touch and there is a play button here. We'll click that in a second. We have the logo here and we have a bunch of things here: project, consulting, store, my story, blog, and contact. And let's just start scrolling here. So we have work keeps me motivated, and then we have a few case studies. We go down, we have this previously worked with, and you see some logos of, I guess, big companies in India. I don't know them, but it looks impressive, even though. Services I can help you with: UX, website design, animation, mobile design, motion design. Now create videos in minutes using templates. This is a little bit confusing. I don't know what it has to do with, user experience or interface design. Where leading product designers love these digital products. So I guess he has digital products. I can see that he's selling something here. So it's also an e-commerce shop. You can find me on these platforms, and then call to action, and then pretty big footer. All right, so let's start to get down into this and see what works here, what's done really well, and what can be improved. The first thing, so I think, as I've said before, overall, I think this is very impressive. Everything looks good. It's actually structured in a very meaningful way. And I've been talking about this multiple times when I review websites and portfolios in general. Very clear. There's good call to action, good value proposition, very clear about what he does. He uses social proof to show logos of companies that he worked with, very clear about the services. So everything is structured really well. However, the only thing here that I think is hurting this website a little bit is that it's trying to do too much and it gets a little bit confusing. So let's start from these buttons. First of all, something that is a little bit annoying to me is that this button looks somehow pixelated. I don't know why, but it looks, and also the logo here, it's kind of like it's an image instead of being maybe a text or a vector, so it kind of looks pixelated. So in terms of quality, that's something that's weird to me because this looks really amazing. Everything looks super sharp, and then this logo, which is pixelated, and this circle, that's kind of like, I don't know if a red flag, but that's inconsistent with the rest of the quality of the website. Now I click this play button, which I thought will take me to some video, but it actually takes me to this create videos in minutes using templates. And this is very confusing because up until this point, this guy sold me on the fact that he's a user interface designer and he wants to to help me create products user love. And now I see that he's selling me templates for social media. So this is really confusing for me as, let's say I'm a client. I want to hire this guy. I assumed he's going to show me some videos. Maybe he's going to talk to me or something like that. But I click here and now he's trying to sell me on something that is very, very different. So to me, that is confusing. I would try to divide, and I assume that this is something that is oriented either for designers or, and this shop here with live mock-ups and stuff like that. I would assume that I would actually separate these two entities. I don't know if to different websites, but maybe I would just really put something like a shop here, store, but I would separate them because if I'm a client that comes to hire, then this is very, very confusing. Now, let's talk about this. This is work keeps me motivated. Here are some projects I worked with. So if I would think about this, then there's few things that I can improve here. I think this is the title, work keeps me motivated, but it does not explain. And as you know, people on the web, they read very, very quickly. So they usually read only the big headlines. And when I read this, I don't know what I see here, right? Here, this is basically should have been something like, here are some projects. This should have been the title because it's nice to have, but it does not explain what this section is all about. Now, in terms of layout, hierarchy, contrast, because these images are so color heavy and they grab so much attention, they take up more hierarchy than the title. So I actually look here initially, and I don't even know really what I'm looking at. And I think that you're showing me some kind of a work, right? You want to show me this app here that's inside, but it's inside, the art direction here is very confusing. I see the background, I see this plant here, and it's actually distracting me from seeing the actual app itself. So I would rearrange the way that this section is laid out. This is very clear. Here, the focus is on the app itself. It's very, very nice, and it's very, and when you look at both of them, there is, hierarchy. This takes your attention first thing, and then you look here, which I think is the right hierarchy. 1, 2. Here, it's like 1 and confusing, and then 2 confusing, and this is actually what I'm looking for. These are projects that I worked in. So I think in terms of hierarchy and layout and kind of contrast, this can be improved. Now let's go into a case study. Let's review one of the case studies. Homely app. I think okay. So first impression looks really good. This is a really good case study. Again, I love seeing process. I love scrolling through this. I usually don't really read the text, but it looks very impressive. I love seeing kind of like work in action. So I think this is really well done. Things that can be improved here is, I say this over and over again, a lot of people put super, super long lines of text, specifically when they're centered. It's very hard to read. So I would say from typographic standpoint, this is not very readable. As I've mentioned before, people mostly only read the titles. So put in a title here that can help me in or lead me into the text, or just tell me what you want to tell me. Now here we have what I consider a big mistake. Not only the lines are high, these are not actual bullet points. And you can see that because usually bullet points, this second line here should be aligned to this, right? And there's probably should have been more space between the kind of the check mark thing and the actual text itself. So this, for me, this is kind of a red flag because up until now, everything was very amazing and really well designed. But the fact here that there is kind of a typographic element, just a bulleted list or a checklist that is not super well taken care of, to me, that is, I would take care of that because that, for me, decreases the quality of the website, which is very high throughout the website. So I would definitely fix that. Rest of the case study, again, looks very impressive and I like it. I would go into the next thing now, which is consulting with this new thing here. I think this is even the second layer of being confused because this guy is now offering, Ashish is now offering to help young designers, very nice, very amazing offering to help mentor them and give them some advice and feedback. And this is great, but again, this is not the same there are two types of clients here, right? Tools and help for young designers or designers in general, and work for clients. You need to separate them, because if I'm looking at this website right now from the client's perspective that comes to hire you as a designer, to me, that is very much confusing, not relevant to what I'm looking for. So I would separate them into two different places. To me, this is confusing, but it's awesome that he's doing this. I think it's great for the community. I think it's a great kind of side thing besides client work. Store, we talked about this. So I would probably merge these two offerings, the store, the templates, the consulting, into one thing that is, maybe I would write here in the navigation for designers or something like that. So you know that this is not relevant for clients. This is only for designers. And then I would put this shop and all these offerings together. But it's very cool. It's very cool that he's also diversifying his income, client work, product work, consulting. That's pretty cool. My story, I love this. I think so many portfolios fail at this, that they don't show who they are and they don't talk about themselves. And here he's saying designer from filmmaker and engineering background. That is so awesome. I mean, I think I say all the time, find what's unique about yourself. And he articulated what's unique about him in such a simple way. You know, he's coming from filmmaking, which means that's why he can do this really nice animation and he can think about motion, and engineering background. So he probably knows a little bit about code, how to implement his designs in tech products. So this is incredible. I think this is really articulated a nice way to say why he's unique and why he can do things that nobody else can do. This is very, very impressive. I like that he took a professional photography and put it here, his story right here. So yeah, I like it. My goals and ambitions. You know that people who define goals and ambitions for themselves, they're A players, and you want to work with them. Even as a client that comes to hire, yeah, I want to know that the designer that I'm working with is ambitious. And I loved seeing this right here. So yeah, I like this. I like this page a lot. Where I am today, he's also sharing. I would actually switch this around. I do not know why, text that is aligned to the right is helpful. It's just harder to read. I would definitely switch them around. But again, very impressive stats here. Helps to build credibility, even though this is not, I don't know, this is kind of vague, right? Customers globally. Is this people who bought your template or people that you've built projects for? Views on my design work, but it doesn't matter. You don't get into the detail. These numbers are impressive and he can show them, and it helps to build credibility. So I think this is really, really awesome. Yeah, basically, I think that kind of covers the website. I'll go back into the one tiny little note from here is I think the language is sometimes incoherent, because a lot of times Ashish is talking about himself in the first person. I design interfaces. I help businesses. But then this one, it says Ashish Kumar is a product designer from India. Here it's like the third person. Why not? Hi, my name is Ashish. I'm a product. I just think it's a little bit of inconsistency. Again, website is amazing. Everything is cool, but I'm just thinking about how to take this to the next level. And so, people, I think this is a really great website. I think you can take so much of it. Great art direction, great flow, great, value proposition, clarity in the text, social proof. I think there's so much good things going on here that, yeah, I'm sure you can take a lot of ideas from it. Ashish, congrats on your new website. Actually, let me pull up my iPhone. The way that I came from it is from Instagram, from Ashish Instagram, and he actually gave some context here. So I'm actually reading from the post where he shared his new website, and he said my website serves two main purposes: portfolio and services, to giving back to the community by helping new designers. So I said, don't try to do them all on one page because that's confusing. This website took me a whole month to design from scratch and to develop. Took me another 2-3 months to revamp the visual, get the SEO optimized, and get initial feedback before anything is revealed. Thanks to Wix, this website is totally built on Wix and designed on Sketch. So good. You know, I'm a Webflow person, but congrats. I wouldn't actually be able to tell that this is a Wix website. So good for you, Ashish. I'm so excited for the feedback from you guys, everyone else who recently joined the family. Woohoo! Okay, so he's got, I think, 7,000 followers on Instagram. So you might want to check his Instagram. I'll put his Instagram in the description and the link for this website so that you'll be able to check it out. Congrats on the website, Ashish, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.